What's up everyone, Vu of Envu Films, and I am back with another idiotic video for you to watch. And today's idiotic video is for all you wedding videographers out there. Specifically, all of you wedding videographers out there that keep complaining about photographers getting in your shot. I have mentioned this previously in another video of mine that was definitely lacking in depth. So today I want to cover a little more in depth. I'm going to stop down in this topic to F16, to just cover this with a little more detail for all you that may want to hear it. Again, these videos, they're all just my opinion. This channel is all just my opinion. So you can take it with a nice drop of soy sauce. If you agree with me, great. If you don't, that's also great, okay? So let's get to the point. I have seen post after post after post on wedding videography, Facebook groups, what have you, of photographers getting in your video shot. And let's be honest, they're going to do that, all right? I've said this in another video. Photographers are at 100% of weddings. Every wedding that you shoot, there is a photographer there. If there isn't a photographer there, lucky you, but every single wedding I have ever shot in my life, and that is a lot, the past 5 years, there has been a photographer there. We as videographers are 100% accustomed with having a photographer shooting around us, so we're always aware of where they are. Photographers, no matter how much you communicate, no matter how much you talk to them the day before, the day of, they are going to sometimes forget that you're there, because 8 out of 10 weddings that they shoot, there's no videographers there to even bother them. So you have to keep that in mind. 2, why are you still just sitting on your tripod? It is 2021. You have gimbals. You have very lightweight gimbals that could handle a lot of weight, meaning you can be on a gimbal and shoot on a 24-70. That means you don't have to be lazy and worry about, oh, I want to shoot on a 24, I want to shoot on a 35, I want to shoot on a 50, I want to shoot on a 85, whatever. You can slap on a 24-70 and be pretty much good to go the whole day. You don't have to worry about, oh no, I wish I had a different focal length. And I understand that back in the day, that might be an issue. It's kind of cumbersome to switch lenses on and off, especially, smaller, lighter gimbals that won't break your back. Can't handle like big lenses such as 24-70, so you can only use a prime, and then the primes are limiting because you want early focal lengths. Those aren't the days anymore. Now you can have a 24, those aren't the days anymore. That's not how it is anymore. You can be free to use pretty much any lens you want on a pretty lightweight gimbal, on like Sony a7S III, Canon, whatever trash you want to shoot on. You could be nimble. You don't have to be sitting on your tripod, and when the photographer gets in your shot, you are effed, okay? Be nimble. I don't even contact the photographer the day before the wedding or the week of the wedding anymore. Pretty much, I just show up to the wedding, I meet them. Most of the time, it's for the first time I ever met them, and I say, hey, how you doing? And I just work together, okay? Bottom line is, work together with your photographer, communicate with them, help them throughout the day, be nice, and they'll be nice to you, and they'll help you out, and they'll try to recognize you, and they'll be more attentive to you. But sometimes they're gonna miss the mark, man. Sometimes, they are in the moment. They're trying to be creative. They're trying to get the shot they need to get to satisfy their client just as you are, and they forgot that, hey, you're back there. They didn't do it on purpose. No one is trying to mess up your shot on purpose, unless you have been being a huge douchebag the whole day, maybe, but that'll be kind of messed up on their part just to be that petty. But still, just this day and age, 2021, with all of the technology, all the gear that we have available to us, we should be able to manage and be just as nimble to get around a photographer if they accidentally get in front of our camera. Secondly, you should always have multiple different angles. If you're on tripod, you should have a tripod angle, another tripod over there, another tripod there, maybe even handheld camera, a gimbal camera. You have different angles, so if they do get in front of one camera, you have another camera to switch to, okay? And I do understand that, hey, sometimes you have that one camera that is for just covering that wide shot of the whole ceremony, and they just want to see the whole ceremony. cut it, like I said, you have to cut it to another shot. There's many ways to work around a photographer. And let's get back to the whole gimbal thing, right? Why are you limiting yourself to just shooting tripod? The problem I see with a lot of wedding videos, and again, this is my opinion on it. There's too many wedding videos out there that uses like portrait session and using like every other part of the wedding other than the ceremony as a crutch to create a good wedding film, to create a beautiful wedding film, because the ceremony is filmed like trash. You only have two angles. You have a bride angle and then you have a groom angle, and it's just like this boring film where the ceremony is just two portrait shots of the bride and groom, maybe a couple of reaction shots of the people who are at the wedding. But for the majority of it, there's not much interesting shots to cut to. Now, if you use your technology, like I said before, get on a gimbal, have a second shooter on a gimbal as well, and if the photographer gets in your shot, you can move with the gimbal right next to them and you pretty much have the shot. And I get it. A lot of you are back there on tripod, trying to get that first kiss, and then the photographer is like dead center in the middle aisle. Why are you on tripod for the first kiss? Why are you being so basic about the first kiss? Get on the gimbal, get a shot of the first kiss on the gimbal, and then when they're walking down the aisle, you actually have a nice walking backwards tracking shot of them versus just the standard shot from back there on your tripod. Get creative with your shots. Use the gimbal to your advantage, not just to be as nimble as the photographer so that you guys can work next to each other, hand in hand, but it's gonna help your overall film. Then you could get all these nice dynamic shots of the ceremony while it's going on. You have a bunch of tripods to get your standard portrait, close-ups, and wides, but then you also have gimbals. Preferably, you would have a gimbal, your second shooter would have a gimbal, and you have 3 other cameras rolling on tripod, and then during the whole ceremony, you're getting all these dynamic shots of the ceremony, and then you can mix it into your edit and make it look beastly, okay? Not just having cuts of this angle, this angle, this angle, and you're sitting on your tripod the entire ceremony. Move around, get nice parallaxing shot, get nice reaction shots, get nice like wide angle shots of the entire ceremony to mix in with your edit so that your wedding video, right? You were hired to film a wedding. You weren't hired to film the couple walking around in the park with sunset. You're hired to film a wedding. So film the wedding to the best of your ability, so then when you're doing the edit, you don't have to worry about, oh gosh, I need to get another shot of them walking hand in hand in the sunset. You could actually use some ceremony footage of them together. You could use a nice cinematic, quote unquote, like you could use nice sweeping gimbal shots of the ceremony and use that, and then you don't have to use 1.5 to 2 minutes of portrait session shots for a 4 to 5 minute film. You could actually mix in some ceremony shots because they're not just boring tripod shots, and on top of that, the photographer will never be your problem. With that being said, that is just pretty much my whole opinion on the matter. Stop complaining about the photographer getting in your shot. Do something about it. Be proactive about it, whether it be communicating or just knowing that photographers will eventually get in your shot, so you're prepared when they do so. It is never the photographer's fault for ruining your shot. It is your fault for not preparing yourself. With that being said, guys, if you like this kind of content, please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and till next time, lighten up.